Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review and surprise, a midweek review this week. I know, go figure, right? Today we are tackling AEW's World's End, the final AEW pay-per-view of the year. We got one more pay-per-view to review this year. That'll be out next week, so make sure you go check that out. But before we do, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything else in between. As you can hear in my voice, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but I'm feeling much better. Guys, two away. Today's New Year's Eve, but we got close, guys. I appreciate all the help and love and support you've shown this channel. This episode is being recorded on New Year's Eve, so this marks the fourth anniversary of this channel, believe it or not. So thanks again for all the help, love, and support. Make sure if you haven't already, go on and click that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, help out that algorithm. Let's keep the channel growing in 2025. So, World's End. You watched the Zero Hour, obviously, correct?
Oh, I didn't even watch this pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Then why are you here?
For funsies.
Okay. Uh, First pre-show match was Tony Storm versus Layla Gray.
Just listen, I like the story. I like what they're doing. I like
With
the new
Tony Storm, yeah,
character.
I
It's
like the
funny,
gimmick.
funny, haha. If I mean, we were gonna make the argument, and it's probably not gonna be in her favor for female wrestler of the year.
Right?
But at this point, like story work wise, I don't think there's been anybody even close to as good as her. I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there gonna be like Liv
Yeah.
Morgan and Rhea Ripley, but
No,
like
that
no,
that storyline is played out. I'm sorry, I
it
can't.
was never good.
No.
It was never good. Like we didn't even the majority of people weren't even enjoying it during the Dominic era, but pre Liv
Yeah.
Morgan. So I
Dominique.
mean, not to Dominique, not to take away from Rhea Ripley because she's amazing, but
Yes, but Liv Morgan is what, average at best?
yeah, she's your in the world of wrestling, she's your run of the mill women's wrestler. In
Yeah.
WWE, she's like a higher tier. As for now, because the rest of the really good wrestlers are still stuck transitioning from entering the
NXT.
company.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
But yeah, I do like the gimmick. It was a fun match. Layla Gray's fine, and Tony Storm gets her first pay-per-view win.
yeah, I know that's so funny. But Layla Gray is like not good at all, but she just like it's like when you do the warm up when you're playing a fighting game and you go to like the
Yeah,
training and there's like a dummy that doesn't move, it just lets you do whatever
yeah,
you
that's
want to
Layla
it. That's
Gray.
basically Layla Gray.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, we are going to the match that was set up last week on Ring of Honor. Jeff Jarrett versus QT Marshall.
Don't care, whatever it was okay, but like don't
Yeah,
care.
I was looking at some of the stats. Jarrett's in great shape.
Yeah,
Jarrett is also 4 years older than Chris Jericho.
yeah. He's the same age as Daddy Ass, I think.
Yeah, but Jarrett looks like he's in better shape.
Jarrett looks like he's in the best shape of all the old guys.
Yeah,
Like in that like late 50s tier,
yeah.
mid to
Jericho
late
looks
50s.
like the rock and roll lifestyle's catching up to him.
Yeah, because he keeps getting in shape and then immediately getting out of shape. Do you notice that?
Yeah,
He disappears for a bit, comes back like 2 months later, he's in shape, and then within a
yep,
month he's fat again.
yep. I've noticed that. And he
Um,
just looks haggard with the long hair and
yeah,
like
it takes away from his
stringy.
performance too. I think he should
Yeah,
go back to the short hair look. I think with his next character, he should come back with something jarring.
yeah, completely different.
Um, the list, bring back the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Jarrett does win, and then he says he has a huge announcement on Dynamite
Well, I can guess what the announcement is.
that he's going
It's
to
it's
retire at the end
it's
of
a
the year.
retirement tour, and you know
Yeah,
what? Fuck, tell me this 10 years ago, I would have laughed at you because I hate Jeff Jarrett.
but
But
tell me
like,
now.
because he's just such a dedicated company guy.
Yeah, he is. He'll give it 100% and say what you will about his run in TNA or in
Yeah, he was
WCW.
a bit of a jerk, but
Yeah,
like they all were jerks at that point.
but now he does the deal. He'll put a guy over if he has to be. He'll do it for the company.
That's what he should be doing. He's iconic. He's the
Yeah,
guitar guy.
he's the guitar guy. Listen up, Slapnuts. So with
Okay.
that, third pre-show match of the night. So this is what I find funny. Zero Hour here had three pre-show matches and was an hour and a half. Ring of
I'm not
Honor had four and it was only an hour.
I'm not totally upset about it in the sense that I kind of like the way that they do the pre-shows now, where it's like more about it kind of has that WWE element, but mixed with
Where it
like
sets up.
where it's setting you up for things.
Yeah.
And I really like the team that they assemble there. Like I really, really enjoy RJ City a lot. And I like his chemistry that he has with
Renee.
Renee, right? And
Yeah.
then the other person doesn't really matter. I kind of like it when it's Jeff Jarrett, to be honest, but I'm
Yep.
okay with it being Daddy Magic or whoever.
That's why Daddy Magic was there because Jeff Jarrett had the
Yeah.
match tonight.
But
So
it is a little bit weird that it's an hour and a half and only like 40 minutes of that hour and a half is matches. Like
not even. There was 10, 26 minutes, 27 minutes of matches
you
in
could
and
get me
out.
a fourth match. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
showcase us some young people.
Some young talent. More showcase. You got so many women on the roster. You only had two women's matches in this.
Three.
Three.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, that's right. But the third pre-show match is Leo Rush, Marco Andretti, and the Murder Machines against the Outrunners
Marco
and Top Flight.
Andretti. Yeah, you know what? It's like once again, like yeah, it's a fine match. What it is, what it is.
It's
I
like
like
the
the way it
infantry on the
ended.
ROH pre-show.
Yeah, I like the way it ended. But I just I really have trouble deciphering what you're trying to as a company, what you're trying to tell me the differences between the infantry top flight and this Leo Russian Marco Andretti team.
Yeah.
We're only
Yeah.
calling him Marco Andretti from now on, by the
From
way.
now on.
Mary Andretti, we'll call him
Marion,
Mary
we can call him
Andretti.
Mario Andretti. Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
um,
like, okay, so they got so many tag teams, but now they're setting up a new team. And they're going to be facing Top Flight. Is it Top? No, Private Party.
which is fine. And it's like, see, on Private Party, even stylistically, they're not any different than those four other tag teams as well, those three
No, they're
other
the
tag
same.
teams. But they have
Could
their
they be
characters are different
introducing a
enough.
junior heavyweight tag belts?
I don't think you should do that. If
No,
anything, you
there's
should just
already too many
introduce
belts.
a
Yeah.
junior belt, period, just
Yeah.
singular. Yeah, because you run the risk, and it's like there's a limit between too many belts. We've learned this. I never knew this. This is something
Yeah.
I thought was impossible, but WWE has officially
Too many
proved to me
belts.
you don't need to have 8 women's belts in any company.
No.
That's literally psychotic.
Yeah, because they got the two main and the two undercard on the main show. They
And then
have the
two
tag
on
belt.
NXT and the tag belts. That's 8 belts.
Yeah. Seven. But yeah, you're right.
Well, 8 people get to wear belts.
Yeah,
It's too
that's
many
that's a
belts.
lot. That's just in the women's division.
You only needed one undercard belt, period.
Yeah.
Like across all 3 shows.
But now they have three across all three shows.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like I'm not going to complain. Let's get a little rub out there, but
Yeah, yeah.
like AEW right now, you're right on the cusp. Like you have the trios belts, do more with the trios belts.
Yeah.
Make trios great again.
Yeah, because yeah, you don't see the trios champions on the show at all.
They weren't on a
It's
lot of the last show either, I don't
well,
think.
that's because he was defending the tag belt with Guevara.
Factual.
So,
That's the wrong tag belts.
oh, right, that's the ROH trios.
Yeah.
That's right. Was it Yuta, Castagnoli, and what's his name? And Pac.
I get it to a point. But either way, okay. Well, it's neither
Yeah.
here nor there. It's there. I like the addition of the Luke Cage of the Cage and
The murder
Archer tag
machines?
team.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cage looks different with a full beard, eh?
Yeah.
I almost didn't recognize him.
I think they should give them a shot to go because
Yeah.
I feel like it would be they might not be the team you want to be tag champions, but they're like imposing. It would be hard
Right.
to beat
But
them.
they'd also be, if you use them as a transitional, they'd be good as a transitional because
Yeah.
at least, the people that do beat them beat like a workhorse type big.
You would have them. I would have them squash a shitload of teams on before someone gets it. Like, but don't keep the belts on them that long. The
No.
problem is the way AEW would book it is their squash fest would include beating other good tag teams instead of beating like the
Yeah.
Outrunners. They would beat like the Young Bucks, and you'd be like, okay, this doesn't make any sense.
Why is this? They'd beat
Yeah,
FTR or something.
yeah, that's what I mean, right? So it would be like you'd be like,
Yeah.
because they're more keen on putting on the good match than a lot of times than just telling you
Yeah.
stories, which is fair. Like I understand the criticisms of AEW. I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to it. Anyways, we've gone
I
way off
think
topic.
AEW is trying to find the balance between storytelling and putting on good matches.
I don't really need storytelling. Like
No.
I don't like your mom. So you get Eddie Kingston out there.
right?
John Moxley, my mom used to let you sleep on the couch, and now you're gonna do this to me. But
Yeah.
I want some kind of in-ring story, right? Where
Yeah.
it's not just like putting the two best teams against each other to get some kind of match.
Well, I was watching Stardom today as of this recording, and the commentary is all in Japanese. And what little Japanese I do know, I can pick up, but like everything was told in the ring. So I got to watch it with full Japanese commentary, but I still enjoyed it because all the storytelling was done in the ring,
Yeah, but that's why we like Japanese wrestling.
right?
There's very little out of ring storytelling. It's all done during matches.
And the thing is, too, didn't like Lance Archer or Brian Cage get the pin in this match?
I think so.
Yeah, then why would Leo Rush and Marco Andretti get the shot?
Dude, you're asking me questions.
Yeah, why is this? Yeah, why is Gamora? So we'll go into the main show proper. Semi-final match for the Continental Classic: Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
Fantastic
It's a
match.
fantastic way to start the show. Yeah,
Wonderful. A little too much blood, and
yeah,
not like in a way, but in like a okay. Like it.
yeah.
This is like we're
That's the thing
overdoing it.
too.
This is
This
the first
show, this
match.
show in general had a lot of blood.
It did. Um, in the next match where it happens, I kind of agreed with it because it felt
Right.
like a blood feud.
That was a blood feud. Yeah,
I mean, this is too, but
yeah.
the thing is, you know that there had to be a finals here,
This
and
feud was going to
the guy
continue.
who bleeds goes to
Yeah,
the finals. So you're like, well, wouldn't you want to save that for the? Because that's kind of a blood feud too.
and
Okada versus
yeah,
Osprey. Sorry, versus
he
Fletcher.
bled like
But
a stuck pig too. Osprey,
oh
like
yeah, it was nuts, nutso.
yeah, but yeah, Osprey does win, so he goes on to
It
the
was a
final.
really good match though.
Yeah, it was fantastic way to start the show. Um, the other semifinal match, Kazuchika Okada versus Ricochet. Better than I expected too.
A lot better than I expected, but it was too long. Do you have the time there? Sorry, I just
Well, how long the match was? Yeah, 13 minutes.
13, that's it. It felt like it was
Yeah,
forever,
it felt like a long match. Yeah, and I
but it
watched this in
wasn't bad.
1.25.
Did you?
Yeah,
I paid for it. I had to watch, so I watched it live.
you watched it
Well,
live.
not live. Well, right when we finished filming, I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
watching it. And you know
But
what I had to do? I figured out this thing because the way it works when the pay-per-view's still running, if you come back to it, it keeps trying to push you to the live and you can't skip anything because it
yeah,
keeps trying to push you to live. So what
that's
I do now is
through
I
Fight TV.
pause. Yeah, so I start the pay-per-view before I leave. I put it on
Yeah,
pause. So when I come back, I just press play and it continues from where I left it.
and then you can
Because
fast forward all the
if you
boring
try to
parts.
play it like live when you or you try to just press play when you come back, it'll just
Yeah,
keep trying to push you. You can rewind and it'll just keep trying to
that
take you
does
back to the spot.
WWE does the same thing.
Yeah, WWE is actually really odd for that.
Yeah.
It's like it, especially if we're both watching at the same time, it keeps trying to push me to where you are.
Yes, that's
Anytime I
right.
fast forward like a vignette or something, it
Because
tries
I
to
give it my
force me to go
login.
to where
Yeah.
you are.
But Noah doesn't do that.
No, Noah's great. That's the best streaming service
Yeah.
that's out there.
Wrestle
New
Universe. We
Japan
could
has got a lot better, by the way. The New
has
Japan
it? Okay,
service.
I haven't logged in yet, but
I know you got to do it
yeah, but
because you can watch everything in chapters, so you don't have to have any downtime between the match. As soon as the match is over, you press skip and it goes right to the next
the next
match.
match. Oh, that's good. Yeah, but Wrestle Universe is by far the best out
Oh,
of all this.
it has like six wrestling companies on it.
But not only that, you could be watching Noah and I'll be watching Noah and you could be like two matches ahead of me and it won't
No, it
like
won't unless you exit and come back, then it will put whoever's the person still watching it. The
yeah,
bar will be where they are.
yeah.
It-
So
but
yeah,
yeah,
but it's
anyways, and
fine.
it doesn't log you out.
No, it doesn't. Like New Japan does. So yeah, Ricochet Okada. Okada does win. We knew this was going to happen. We weren't going to get
Yeah,
Ricochet
I
Osprey.
mean, okay, I was really worried it was gonna happen because I didn't want that. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
Anybody who sat there and said they didn't want Okada versus Osprey is just
is
joking with
lying.
themselves.
Yeah, they're just lying.
Okada
Um,
had to win this. In my
yeah,
head, from the very start, Okada has to win this.
yeah, absolutely. And the right kid died, as you would say. So third match, third straight championship match in a row. Mariah May defending the AEW World Women's World Championship against Thunder Rosa.
A fun match, but like
It's a plunder match. That's Thunder Rosa's stuff, right? That's what she can do now.
I like it. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I had a good time with it. I have this thing now where when we first were getting, well, at least I was getting exposed to AEW. Thunder Rosa seemed like arguably the best wrestler, women's wrestler they had, especially when you were pushing people like Britt Baker, who can't
Yeah.
really wrestle, and Jade Cargill, who can't really wrestle. You're watching her and you're like, Thunder Rosa's like, wow, this is like
But
so good.
now,
Ty Conti, Anna Jay, like that's
yeah,
now she's like not even close to the top. Like
she's gotten to the Serena Deeb area. Like
kind
she's
of,
good, she's serviceable, she's good to
yeah.
put somebody over, but I don't think Rosa will ever
I'm
win it.
gonna have to agree with you on that. I because and it's weird because it's like Mariah May like is like dancing circles around her.
Yeah, and she's
It
like 10, 15 years younger than her. Is Mariah May's fairly young, isn't she?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she's really young, but she's very new to wrestling. This is only like her third year of
She's only
wrestling.
26. She's Tiffy's age.
So it's
Yeah.
that's a match I want to watch.
Right? Mariah May versus Tiffy. That'd be a good
That's a good
match.
match. Anyways, but yeah, I mean,
Multiverse.
it wasn't bad. It's just
No.
I'm seeing this point now where it's like at the beginning of this match, I was like, I got all this kind of like weird emotional hype of like, remember when Thunder Rosa won the title? They were talking about it, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do, and it felt so good, and it's like I want that again. I want her to win. But then as the match went on, I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't want Thunder Rosa to
It's
be the
like they
champion.
use them and then they forget about them for months because where's
Yeah,
Sheeta?
yeah. I mean, Sheeta's someone I would like to get back, but I don't like the way they use her. She's always transitional,
Yeah.
except for the
Where's
first one.
Riho?
Rio Wade got injured. Didn't she break her
Yeah,
leg
I think
again or
so.
something?
And then what's her name? Where's Jamie Hayter?
Jamie Hayter's off doing weird storylines with Julia Hart.
Okay. Because like
But
then why bring her back? Hayter was someone you could have slotted right into this main event picture. Eventually, that's something you're gonna have to do. Mariah May versus Jamie Hayter.
I would have did based on the last hardcore match that we saw
Right.
from the women's division. I would have did Chris Statlander versus Mariah May here in a
Right.
hardcore match. Give her
And
a
did
shot at the title, make
and
it
did
someone
Thunder
different,
Rosa
and
versus
then
Monet.
Thunder Rosa versus Sasha Banks, and have that turn into a feud where then you can have Thunder Rosa beat her for the thing, and it feels more viably realistic
Yeah.
that a name as big as Sasha Banks loses to a wrestler with a pedigree of Thunder
Of Thunder
Rosa
Rosa,
over
yeah.
to somebody else.
Yeah,
Now
because
I'm
at
like,
this point,
okay,
who's she gonna lose to?
that is exactly right. Like I know what the storyline is going to be. They
It's gonna
want
be Tony
to
Storm.
no, they want it to be
Mina?
what was her bodyguard?
Oh, Camille.
I think they want it to be Camille. They want her to storyline to come kick back in
So
with
you
her.
think she's gonna beat Mina?
Who?
Monet has a match versus Mina in a winner take all.
Pro mm, yeah, probably because Thunder Monet's never won the United Kingdom belt.
Okay, so they just want to
Think of
they want to
what it means for Rev Pro to have Sasha Banks be the champion
yeah, they
over
want to
Mina.
pad that they want to pad the
Yeah.
stats.
Because I bet you
So
there's a plan in place now to move Mina up the ladder in Stardom to give her like the world title or
yeah,
something.
because I watched some she I think so because she had a pretty good match in the Stardom. Like she was in one of the opening
She's a
matches.
really good
So
wrestler.
yeah.
We're spoiled in women's wrestling in 2024.
Yeah.
Five.
But Mariah May does win this match clearly because we knew Thunder Rosa was not going to win, and I still think it's too early to take the belt off of Mariah.
You could, but it has to be like
Tony,
Tony Storm
it
or
has to
Mina,
be.
and it
Yeah,
can't be Mina.
no, it has to be Tony. But next match, MJF versus Adam Cole for the AEW Dynamite ring. This is the match you were talking about where the blood was necessary because it's a blood feud.
Absolutely,
I just
absolutely.
feel that this match is too late because of the injuries and the time off, right? This is a year in the making.
It's I didn't I didn't the
Don't get me
storyline
wrong, I like the
it's
match.
iffy. The match was okay. It was
Yeah,
nothing special, but I think that the blood was very necessary here.
yeah,
Um, but I didn't feel it.
yeah. There was nothing holding me
It's
to
too
it.
late. They waited too long.
Yeah, Adam Cole's injury took him out of contention for so long. But we do get something good happening at the end. We get the reunion of the real undisputed with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong together again.
Yeah, and I that kind of came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, were you expecting that?
And no, because O'Reilly's been feuding with them for a while. He was like, will he, won't he kind of thing. And but then again, who are they going to feud with now? MJF doesn't have a faction anymore.
Um, Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got to give him one. I've been thinking that for a while. It's funny that
Because
you said that.
he used to have the pinnacle with Wardlow and Sean Spears and
And
now
they
that's
don't any. Yeah, I mean, but that was more like he was still young. I don't know
yeah,
what kind of team you have to give him now.
he'd have to be the leader of the faction, not like the last one where Spears was the kind of the leader.
I mean, no, you can have him be the leader. That's not genuinely like
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. It's more like the team needs to be right. Like I do you give him a bunch of name wrestlers to have to be MJF's bitch, or do you have to?
No, but
For me, I'm looking for young guys.
you know who would fit in that role? Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks. That this would have been a good spot to have Brian Keith in.
Yeah, but isn't Brian Keith with
Yeah, Brian Keith, but Brian Keith and Big Bill would have been perfect for
yeah,
MJF as his two lackeys. Maybe you go. I don't know if he's part of that stupid Shane Taylor promotions, but like maybe Big Shoddy, uh,
unless they just turn
Lee
heel,
Mor
unless you
and
bring
or
in
Lee Moriarty.
Lee J from Lee Mori Lee Lee
Yeah,
J.
Lee Moriarty and what's his face? I can't
EJ
remember the other
something,
guy's name.
yeah. But yeah, unless you bring those guys
I mean, I
into
would do that, but I think they're all part of Shane Taylor Promotions. I think so is
yeah,
the other guy. What's the TV champion's name? I just said it.
Shane no,
Okay,
I don't
anyways, I don't
whoever
care.
it is. We don't care. But yeah, MJF does win though. But like I said, this feud is a little too late, long in the tooth now.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you gain by MJF winning?
Nothing. He keeps
What
the
do you
diamond ring, big deal.
like? Who gives a shit? I think that's a storyline that's so irrelevant. The ring part
Yeah,
that
that's like having another championship without having another. It's like the $1 million championship. Nobody would
yeah,
ever win it,
nobody cares.
and nobody cares. Exactly. So with that, we got AEW International Championship Konosuke Takeshita defending against Powerhouse Hobbs.
Hold on.
Takeshita can get a good match out of anybody, can he? And I'm not saying that Hobbs is a bad wrestler. Hobbs is pretty good. Maybe Hobbs. Hobbs would be a perfect for MJF.
Um, yeah, I guess. But then the dude is Hobbs just another lackey again? Like, are we just throwing him into that category again?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's genuinely like a weird situation between them, and I just don't get it.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what else we can do with Hobbs, but like we said though, Takeshita can take anybody into a good match. Like this guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was the right choice for this. I find it really strange that they picked Will
Yeah,
Hobbs because what kind of match was he gonna have with Takeshita?
yeah, and Hobbs came back and he's hurt again.
He's
He
just
got
gonna
hurt.
be one of those guys forever, I think. I
Yeah,
think he's gonna get released. If you want me to be honest, he's gonna end up in Japan
yeah, they could be their next Jonah. But
or on
we clearly
TNA.
this is clearly another one we knew that Takeshita was not going to lose this belt because he has a huge match against Shingo this Saturday.
Takeshita?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna win both belts.
yeah,
He's
and
gonna
he's
be they're gonna give him what is it, the open weight?
the open weight. Yeah,
And then the winner has to face the next day has to face Ishii.
yes,
Ishii faces the winner.
faces the winner. Yeah, for it's the same thing. But excuse me. Then again, like this is where you run into a problem now. Like we have Monet defending both belts. Like she defended the strong open weight a week and a half ago at the Strong Style Evolved, and but at that point though, don't you wear your guys thin though?
Yeah and no, because as a fan, do you care?
No, not really. But I feel okay. Like let's take Will Ospreay for example. Will Ospreay is a perfect example. He doesn't feel as special to me anymore because we see him too much, and he loses a lot now too.
It doesn't. I understand because I've made the same argument, but getting to see him wrestle certain people is
Yeah,
still what I want to see, right? And getting to see Mercedes wrestle the Japanese girls to me is
yeah,
like different.
yeah.
I don't want to
Because,
watch her fight Chris Statlander for the 400th time. I want to
right.
see her fight somebody new.
And I agree. And as we said, Takeshita wins this match, and we'll go on to the next match, which is Mercedes Moné against Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. Since the last time Statlander has faced Moné, she went from a heel to a face to a heel to a face again.
Yeah, and now she's trying to become friends with Willow.
Yes.
Do you let that happen if you're Willow? No, I don't. I
No,
don't think that's logical storytelling.
you screwed me over twice before. I'm not going to let you do it to me
We
again.
had a freaking all-out death match. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I'm
And
not
now I want to be
being
your best
friends with
friend
you
again.
again. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uh Weirdly, I'm really excited to get, as much as it's like not like the best wrestlers ever, excited to get like Julia and Sky Blue back and see what they can do as their little like weird offshoot of the House of Black.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like I don't know. Okay, was this match
Sorry, when you
good?
say Julia, my mind automatically goes to
Oh yeah,
NXT.
but this match was good.
Yeah.
It was way, 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 way too long.
Yes. This was 25 minutes.
It genuinely, I was talking to people at work about it, and one guy's like, it was like 45 minutes, right? And I'm like, I don't know if it was that long, but it definitely felt like it.
Absolutely. It did feel long. And I noticed the Monet we get in AEW is different than the Monet we get in Japan. She is a wrestler in Japan. This match felt gimmicky.
It did. I mean, you do. She looks better here than she did, like let's say in before she had the Japan match. After she has
Yeah,
a match against a Japanese girl, then the following match is usually also
pretty good. Yeah.
pretty good. The problem is Statlander just doesn't have that ability. She has too much WWE in her. I
Yeah.
mean, it's American wrestling. I'm just using that as an
Yeah.
example.
Western.
Where it's very like these punches and like
Yeah.
slow spin kicks and like weird like I'm gonna climb up the ropes. Okay, I'm gonna wait because you're not there yet, and I'm still waiting.
The
Okay,
80% kind of thing, the 75 to 80% without
yeah,
going 100% all the way.
and it's just like there's a lack of reality to it,
Yeah.
which
Whereas
is what I want.
where the Hanako versus Monet match was
Was
like,
crazy.
yeah, but
Arguably the women's match of the year.
maybe, yeah. I wouldn't put it past it. Monet does retain again. This is another match where we knew she wasn't going to lose because she has the match against Mina. This is the thing about setting matches for later before a title match is like you telegraph the outcome now.
Yeah, I think they're probably the biggest culprits of that in all of wrestling.
Yes, I get it. They like to announce, and granted, we also have WWE on the opposite end. Some of the matches aren't even announced until like a day before the card.
And in fairness to equality, WWE has a tendency to like have a championship match where it's like it's Cody Rhodes versus Bill Wicklesby, and you're like, what the fuck kind of championship match is this? Of course, that guy's
That
not
is going to
winning.
be my next creative wrestler,
Bill
Bill
Wicklesby.
Wicklesby.
But yeah, it's that's
Just
like
come out in a big
that's
pair
the
of
difference,
overalls.
right? Like AEW's like, oh, there's a championship match tonight against a wrestler who could win, but then also Mercedes is defending the title tomorrow night, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
WWE's like, we're gonna put him against the guy that you know doesn't even exist.
yeah.
You know, like Randy Orton's not beating Cody Rhodes
Cody
type of
Rhodes.
thing.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is not beating Cody
No.
Rhodes.
And it's like that's why I kind of appreciate the Japanese style of like, well, we know he's facing Keno tomorrow for the title, so tonight is obviously not a title fight, and it's not. It's not even for the belt. It's
Or
just
what
like
they're doing at Wrestle
some kind of
Dynasty.
match.
So
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom, you have Umino versus Zack Sabre Jr. Should Umino win that match, he has to defend it the next night
Hmm.
against I don't know who he's facing that night,
It's
but
like a Shingo thing. It doesn't tell you who's gonna win yet. It has the picture
yeah,
of both of them, and it could be this guy
it
or
could be
this guy.
either one. Yeah. So
But
yeah,
this is how I know that Takeshita's winning.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
because
So
not
it's
only
like
is it a
yeah,
put over, but then Ishii, that's a put over.
yes,
That's 1,000. So you're gonna let this new up and coming possible future legend of Japan lose to Shingo and Ishii? Yeah, obviously that's what you're gonna fucking
yeah.
do. What are you crazy? You think New Japan's not like licking their own nipples, hoping that one day he becomes a free agent so like he could
So they
become
can
their new
jump on it.
Okada?
Yeah. Like here, for example, one of the matches is Sons of Texas defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against House of Torture. We know that's not going to happen.
That one I think might happen.
Really?
I think that one might happen.
Well, yeah. So you have Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet. If Zack retains, it'll be for the title. Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. If Gabe Kidd retains at Wrestle Kingdom, it's for the title, right? Umino versus Claudio Castagnoli. Should Umino win the belt, it's for the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there has to be some kind of belt switches on this night.
Yeah,
And I think Takeshita will be one, and I feel like the tag belts, the ROH tag belts will be the other.
yeah. There's also the match for the vacant New Japan belts, tag belts too.
Think what that would do for the careers of Sho and Kanemaru
Yeah,
to win tag belts in another an American
an
company.
overseas
Like
company. Yeah, that would be
that's
good for
huge.
them.
Though, like we always forget how good Kanemaru's career is. Like he's a
Yeah, like
legend.
he's a legend as a junior heavyweight in Noah,
So is
especially.
Sho.
Like, yeah, show has the
Wait, it is
potential.
Sho, right?
Yeah,
Okay, it's not. I'm not. For some reason, I kept thinking Ren Narita.
no, Narita is in that four-way match now. Now it's a four-way match
Oh
for
yeah, that's a
the
sexy match though.
with the ELP. Yeah,
Yeah, I hope ELP wins, man. Fuck ELP. Let's go.
ELP. Glad you're better, buddy. So with that, Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay for the AEW Continental Classic.
Probably match of the night.
Yeah, I would
I don't
agree.
know if it was the best in ring work, but it was like the match that you wanted. Like you
Yeah,
came for this, and that's what you got.
yeah, absolutely. Not their best match either.
No, this is what the fifth time that they fought each other.
Yeah,
It's it was special because it was Okada versus Osprey. Like this is one of those
yeah,
moments where you don't look at it where it's overexposure, and you're like, okay. See
yeah.
the way they've managed Okada, he has not been overexposed. It feels
No,
special every single time he's in a ring.
one thing I forgot to mention in his previous match against Ricochet, I love that spot where he runs the ropes and then just smacks the.
There was some fun little things that they did throughout the. Well, my favorite thing was Osprey is best or Osprey better, and then the guy ripped his sign and he pulled out another sign that said Osprey's still better. But yeah,
That was pretty funny. But yeah, like I said, this was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. It's always something special when you get Osprey versus Okada. Uh, Okada does win this match. He's still champion. Technically,
or
he's still
should be.
right. But then after the match ended, I knew they weren't going to make him lose because they're making a big deal about this is his fifth major tournament win. He's won back-to-back Continental Classics and three G1s and
You want to know why I knew he was going to win?
hmm,
Because of what happens directly after the match.
tell the folks what happens directly after the match.
Young Kenneth Omega. Well, first Christopher Daniels comes out and says, "I'm no
I'm
longer
no
the
longer
EVP,"
EVP.
and you're, and then Kenny Omega comes out
Yeah.
and
Hands the belt to Okada.
it was like it's a moment, man. Those are
Yeah.
moments you can't forget. That's the arguably the greatest match feud of all time is Kenny
Is
Omega versus
and
Okada.
we'll probably get that for the Continental Championship.
I think this is something not only that Okada and then I mean not only that Conplat, but
Yeah.
I think Okada and Omega both were like this has to happen. This is like the centerpiece. This is going to be like the dying light of Kenny's career. If something should go wrong, this is going to be the match that he
That
wants everyone
cements
to
it. Yeah.
remember and it's like I'm if I die after this, at least this happened.
Yeah. So
Like
I
if this
think what's
match
going
ends and
on
I'm
with
injured and I can never wrestle again, at least that this match happened.
yeah, so what I think Omega's doing now on his comeback trail is I'm just going to put as many young guys over as I can or put over as many people as I can. Like
But we know how it is with him.
he's going to put Gabe Kidd over huge in that match.
He is either that or he's going to beat him and lead to an even bigger match.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like we didn't expect Kenny to win the US title from Will Ospreay, right? But it led to like
A
a
great
better.
feud.
But I think that if you're gonna rely on in-ring storytelling, I think Kenny's the guy you want to lean on.
Yeah.
And it's fine. We know that he's that guy. He would rather have the best match of the year than win the match.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like the Omega Osprey match we had at
Yeah.
Forbidden Door.
And let him win the Continental Classic, or let
Yeah.
him win that belt. That's a little tip to a little nod to
Yeah,
his
a little
career, a
nod
little tip
for
of
him.
the
Yeah.
hat.
Of course. the Wikipedia stats, as we like to call it. But main event, Orange Cassidy versus Hangman Page versus Jay White versus John Moxley.
The match wasn't bad, but
No, but after the last match, this kind of,
before a build up of a pay-per-view of like the last couple weeks of TV to get to this point, it was very lackluster. It was
yeah,
just a very average four-way match that was full of interference, like non-stop interference to the point where I was like, I don't even want to watch this
and
anymore.
more blood,
Yeah, I mean,
and
but
more
we should
blood.
expect that.
Yeah, it's Moxley. A light breeze comes along, and Moxley will start to bleed now.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a good match. It was just exists.
Yeah, and
Um,
I don't see why they keep pushing Orange Cassidy in these spots.
yeah, I think we need to move on from Orange Cassidy. I believe that's hopefully why we get what we get later.
Yeah,
Um, I think there's a few other people that I would consider like find a way to get MJF to join you
yeah,
and push out because I'm just tired of Orange Cassidy. I'm going to be honest. It's not even that he's bad. He needs to do
yeah.
something else.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a great mid-carder. You want a gimmick match? Sure, Orange Cassidy, but what he did for the international championship? Yes, absolutely.
you know what? It's a huge missed opportunity too when you could have had him and Kyle O'Reilly or him and Mark Briscoe win the tag belts.
Yeah,
And it's like to me that I just find that silly that you segued him from that like burgeoning tag team to end up doing be fodder
jobbing.
for John
Yeah,
Moxley.
yeah,
Oh, he put on the black outfit. He's gonna win. Like this ending was a cop out. I don't think
yeah.
John Moxley should have won this.
Who do you think should I like? I mean,
I
it's a
think it's gonna
four-way,
be
so there's
Hangman. It's gonna lead to Hangman, I
no,
believe.
it's not because after the match, Mox wins, and after the match, we get FTR come out, but not
But I
just
th
FTR. We get rated FTR.
which is kind of cool. I kind of liked it. I was kind of
Well, they are all
bargain.
Asheville guys.
It kind of. I think it's all because they want to do the thing on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, in
They
Asheville.
they want to have all those guys fight them
Yeah.
at some point of the night.
And do you think that it'll lead to Adam Copeland versus Mox?
Yeah, but he's not going to win because you can't. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have Adam Copeland versus Mox, and then Christian's going to cash
Cage.
in.
Okay.
So John Edge is going to be close to winning the match, and then he's going to cash in and pin. I don't know if you
Moxley.
have to pin the champion. You
No.
just have to win the match, right?
Yeah. So
To
if you make
pin
it a
Edge
three-way and
or
you,
something,
yeah,
and then he'll win the title.
yeah, yeah, because I think Christian Cage can do a good and
I think it's
dissuade.
listen, it's not the direction I necessarily want to go, but I'm never going to be upset with Christian winning some kind of belt.
No, and I'm a little tired of Moxley too. Like it was fun at the beginning, this gimmick, but this gimmick is going nowhere.
That's the problem I have with it. It's they NWO'd way too fast in the sense that like they didn't really build up slowly by just showing up and causing
Yeah,
ruckus. It kind of just escalated so quick. You're the champion, and you're like, okay, what the fuck?
yeah. What just happened? Yeah, are we gonna get a finger poke of doom?
And there's this weird like they're trying to be like NWO slash DX. There's a lot of Triple H and China coded stuff in there.
Yeah, with Marina Shafir.
And it's just it's not bad. I'm enjoying the story, but I
Yeah,
don't understand where do they go now. Do you know what I
there is
mean?
nowhere. Like,
Now that Christian has been just weirdly there this whole time, and now you have Edge and FTR, plus you have all those other guys, it's like what's happening?
or
Now you
yeah,
have enough people to take him down. Why aren't you
yeah.
just doing it?
So how about this for fantasy booking then? We have FTR and rated FTR against the thing
The
tonight or
trios.
the trios, but have them win the trios belt.
That's what I think is going to happen. We didn't
He
get
can
there yet. We were talking
Adam
about John
Adam
Moxley, but
Cop
yeah.
but Adam Copeland can lose to Mox. Christian cashes in, that's fine. But we do Copeland and FTR and give FTR another little tip before Cash Wheeler goes to jail
He can cash in the contract on any belt, can't he?
on any belt. Yeah.
So maybe they cash in on the trios belts and Sabian, uh, Nick, whatever his
Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne and Christian win the trios belts.
That could be a possibility.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the
No.
best possible scenario, but they have to do something with the contract soon because it's becoming like a burden in over their head.
Yeah. But we'll see. It's kind of like when MJF won the casino chip.
Yeah, it's
It
it's
took,
like the Drew McIntyre, not Drew McIntyre, Tiffy right now.
yeah,
What are you going to hold that thing forever? We're already almost at Money in the Bank.
yeah, 6 months away, really, if you think about it. Who's Tiffy going to cash in on? That's the thing. Like they're
But there
they're
was
they're
so
building
many
up this.
times, but now I think what's going to happen is they're like so scared to have a breakup storyline between her and Thing and then or take the belt away from anybody. So they're kind of like, we'll just give her, we're going to make her beat Chelsea Green or something. You know what I mean? Like I
I
see
have a
that.
feeling she's going to cash in on Nia Jax at Mania, make it a big Mania moment for Tiffy.
Okay, that's fine with me.
So, but yeah. So with that, Matt, show's over. What would you give this show?
I don't know. What would you give this show?
I give this a 7-7. I was thoroughly enjoyed with it. I enjoyed it. AEW has put on some quality.
I said 7-6.
Okay. So yeah, we're not the way you made it sound. I thought you were like way off.
No, because I was debating between a 7-6 and a 7-5, and then after, like I said, after we talk about it, I always feel differently
Yeah.
because it wasn't like a pay-per-view that I wanted. Like at the end of it, I was like, okay, a lot of these matches were good. There was more good
Yeah.
ones than bad ones. It was a much tighter pay-per-view than we usually get from
Yeah.
AEW, much more streamlined.
Yeah.
But
Even though
it's
we only got it was less too. There was only 11 matches too, if you count the three pre-shows.
the pre-show, so it was only eight
Yeah.
matches on the card, which is the least they've ever had, I
Yeah.
think. Um,
They're
I
becoming a little
kind of
bit
was
more
upset
concise.
going in. I was upset. I was like, I kind of wanted 10 matches or something, but then like I don't need the increased length in the matches, which is I think kind of what we got. And I kind of
Yeah,
like
like the
that's
Monet match. That one went a little long.
all the matches were really long, except for the one match that was like 13 minutes, right?
Yeah, Okada and Ricochet.
Like how long was Mariah May?
That one was quick. It was 13 minutes as well.
Oh, okay. Either way, it felt like I could you
Sorry, Osprey and Fletcher. That was 17 minutes, and
yeah.
Okada and Osprey went for 20.
I'm good with a 20-minute match,
Yeah,
but it has to be for a reason.
yeah.
Because we know what happens when we get to Japan, right? We're gonna watch the main event. It's gonna be an hour, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Wrestle
Zach
Kingdom.
versus Umino is going to be an hour long for sure.
It's gonna be a solid 50-minute match, including like entrances and everything. So it's like
Oh yeah.
you got to just buckle up for
Wrestle
Japanese
Kingdom
stuff.
will be 6 hours this year.
Oh yeah, the Wrestle Kingdom is the one pay-per-view. Like as much as I love it, I also dread it because it's like I'm not moving for the entire day.
Yeah.
Like me and Jeremy last time ordered lunch and then ordered dinner. That's like
Jesus.
how long it went for. We
Are you
ordered lunch
watching it?
before we started watching, and then we
Yeah.
started watching it. And by like the co-main event, we were like, "Fuck, I'm starving. You want to get dinner?"
Dinner? Yeah. But it is what it is. And it's on Saturday this year, isn't it? Yeah. This
Yeah,
Saturday. So,
Saturday
all right.
and Sunday.
Oh yeah. Well, Sunday's Wrestle Dynasty.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
instead of
And
being
then
2 days of
Monday is New
Wrestle
Year's
Kingdom,
Dash.
they're crazy.
Like it's yeah, I
But New
think
Year's Dash is kind of good sometimes because it's where all the new stories come out of
yeah.
usually.
So this the way we're starting off. So we're ending the year with Dream Queendom, which the review for that will be next week. Um, so that ends our 2024 review calendar. Then we got Noah on January 1st, Marigold on January 3rd, another Stardom on January 3rd, Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th, Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th, New Year's Dash on the 6th, and then New Year's Evil on the 7th, and Battle in the Valley on the 11th. It's
That's a
gonna be
lot.
it's gonna be nuts.
We're gonna do our best to get them to you in a timely manner, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
promise you guys there's gonna be a skip over weeks where you're gonna have to wait an extra week to get some of the
Yeah, like
reviews.
for example, Stardom Wrestle Dream, I think that one may be a skip.
Even if they're not skips, you're gonna have to wait a week for some of
Yeah.
them. Like they're not coming timely to you, a lot of these, because there's no way I'm fitting fucking
Yeah.
5 pay-per-views in a
Well, I
week.
mean, because well, I mean, we could probably fit in Noah this weekend.
This weekend, yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
Stardom and Noah's
Noah.
probably gonna happen.
Yeah, so
I don't think that'll be an issue.
no.
And this is a worst case Ontario weekend. We can film on Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So tune in, guys. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. Thank you again for a wonderful breakout year, and tune in next year where, like I said, we'll have more fun stuff, more surprises. Like I said, starting in January, Spotify. All the major pay-per-views will be on Spotify. So I'll leave the link to the Spotify channel down in the description box below. You'll find his information down in the description box below. You'll find all our socials and stuff like that, the Discord server, everything will be down there. So go give that a check. And with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And I missed it in the last episode, but in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.